to welcome you all for joining today's His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj's daily online class. I thank you all for joining. Very warm welcome to you all. My humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna Maharaj, my humble obeisances to you. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Haribol, glories to Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Dautatma Purusho Krishna Paramuram Namuchati Mukta Sarvam Pariklesha Pantaswa Sharanam Yata. A pure devotee of the Lord, whose heart has once been cleansed by the process of devotional service, never relinquishes the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, for they fully satisfy him, as a traveler is satisfied at home after a troubled journey. Purport. One who is not a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna is not completely cleansed in the heart, but a perfectly cleansed person never quits the devotional service of the Lord.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, sorry to interject. Maharaj, we are hearing a very low volume, very faded.
See. Okay. Huh? Is that better?
No, Maharaj is still very low.
I don't know where the lowness is coming from because everything I do is the same every day.
We can continue, Maharaj. Then we'll.
I'll start again with the purport.
Yes, sorry, Maharaj, I had to interject. Yes.
One who is not a pure devotee of the Supreme Lord Krishna is not completely cleansed in the heart. Is that any better?
This is much better, Maharaj.
But a perfectly cleansed person never quits the devotional service of the Lord. In discharging such devotional service as ordered by Brahmaji to Narada in the preaching of Srimad Bhagavatam, sometimes a representative of the Lord engaged in preaching work meets various so-called difficulties. This was exhibited by Lord Nityananda when he delivered the two fallen souls, Jagai and Madai. And similarly, Lord Jesus Christ was crucified by the non-believers. But such difficulties are very gladly suffered by the devotees in preaching, because in such activities, although apparently very severe, the devotee of the Lord feels transcendental pleasure because the Lord is satisfied. Prahlad Maharaj suffered greatly, but still he never forgot the lotus feet of the Lord. This is because a pure devotee of the Lord is so purified in his heart that he cannot leave the shelter of the Lord in any circumstances. There is no self-interest in such service. The progress of culturing knowledge by the Gyanis or the bodily gymnastics by the yogis are ultimately given up by the respective performers, but a devotee of the Lord cannot give up the service of the Lord, for he is ordered by his spiritual master. Your devotees like Narada and Nityananda Prabhu take up the order of the spiritual master as the sustenance of life. They do not mind what becomes of the future of their lives. They take the matter very seriously as the order coming from the higher authority, from the representative of the Lord, or from the Lord himself. Example set herein is very appropriate. A traveler leaves home to search for wealth in far distant places, sometimes in the forest, and sometimes on the ocean, and sometimes on hilltops. Certainly, there are many troubles for the traveler when he is in such unknown places. But all such troubles are once mitigated as soon as the sense of family affection is remembered. And as soon as he returns home, he forgets all such troubles on the way. A pure devotee of the Lord is exactly in a family tie with the Lord, and therefore he is undeterred by discharging his duty in a full affectionate tie with the Lord. Om Gyan Timirandasya Gyana Jana Salakaya Chaksun Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Staptitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadam Mayam Dadati Swam Padatikam Vandeham Shiguro Shiyuta Padakamalam Shigurun Vaishnavam Chasi Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Svari Vrishabhanu Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Mancha Kalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Evacha Hitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaur Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Shimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niki Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvasesa Sunyavadi Pasyatya Desatarine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. So we're hearing about the consciousness of the pure devotee. Pure devotee means no other desire than to please the Lord. Whatever may come in the way of their activities of devotional service, they accept it as the mercy of the Lord. And even if it becomes difficult or sometimes even life threatening, they actually enjoy that because it's a great opportunity to serve the Lord in the fullest capacity of oneself. This is illustrated in one verse in the Srimad Bhagavatam so nicely. You could turn to the 8th canto, chapter number 7 of the 8th canto, and verse number 44. Lord Shiva drinks the ocean of poison. Go to verse 44. Tapante lokitapane saravat prayaso jana. Parmaha radhanam taddi purushasya kilatmanaha. It is said that great personalities almost always accept voluntary suffering because of the suffering of people in general. This is considered the highest method of worshiping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present in everyone's heart. So the pure devotees, they know that the Lord very much desires to bring back the conditioned souls who are suffering in this world. The Lord can do anything. But one thing that he does is he comes here to this material world to try to save the conditioned souls by performing various pastimes and by reestablishing religious principles. But he needs help. Even Lord Chaitanya said, I have this fruit of love of God and I'm trying to distribute it, but who am I? I'm only one person. How can I, just one person, distribute these fruits? Please take these fruits, taste them yourself, see how sweet they are, and distribute them to others. So this is the heart of the Lord. The heart of the Lord is the compassion he feels for the fallen conditioned souls in this material world. Anyone who takes up this activity of preaching devotional service to the Lord, especially in Kali Yuga, where there are so many obstacles. Not only are there obstacles, there are forces that are trying to stop you inside, outside, everywhere. There are envious people. There are political rules and regulations that try to stifle and stop devotional activities. There are so many things. If you go through the history of ISKCON movement and in history of Vaishnav culture in general, you'll see so many times. When I was in New Vrindavan, we were attacked by a motorcycle gang and 4 devotees were shot. In places like the Lithuania, when a whole uh, what we say army of people came into the temple and just destroyed the whole temple, ransacked it, and beat the devotees so bad that actually a few of them died later. It was a difficult time, and many other incidents which are too numerous to illustrate or to list has happened. But devotees never quit. They never give up because they know whatever dangers come by him, simply they take shelter of Krishna, pray for his mercy, and go on with their service. Sometimes he protects their body, and sometimes he takes their body and allows them to come back to the spiritual world. So, in any case, the devotees never complain, oh, this is too difficult. This is too, how can I do this? These people are, no. Devotee accepts difficulties as the mercy of the Lord. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur writes about that. He says, what is my happiness in devotional service? And then he lists a whole many things that he is engaged in. And then he finally ends in his prayers in Saranagati. He says, my happiness in devotional service is the difficulties I encounter in your service, my Lord, because then I have something to offer to you. Then I have something to offer to you. So we don't have to look for difficulties, they'll come. This is the nature of Kali Yuga. We have difficulties based on our mind, which is always giving us some reasons why we shouldn't be doing devotional service or how we should take it easy and not try too hard and kind of mix in other activities with devotional service that seems to be more pleasing and satisfying. So the mind is always doing that. The body gives us trouble. We're trying to do our service. The body gets sick, it gets disease, it breaks down, we get tired, there's so many other things happen. And then living entities such as government agents, which are really the biggest form of harassment in today's world, government officials, and just envious people in general. Like I was just talking to someone yesterday. We're in a particular area of the world where there are certain people who just don't like us being there, and they also make trouble for the devotees. But devotees go on. So this is, but somehow or other, and of course, sometimes there's turbulent weather, difficulties that come by way of higher powers. All of these kleshas or harassments coming from the outside and from our own body and mind don't stop the devotees in their devotional service. In fact, they actually see it as an opportunity. Prabhupada uses the example of a traveler who's looking for wealth. He's thinking of the welfare of his family who needs money, and he goes to foreign places. He doesn't know what he's going to be doing, who he's going to meet, but he's on a mission. And even though he encounters difficulties, he thinks about how important it is to do this work so my family will be in a better position or get some benefit. And then after he succeeds, even though he encounters so many difficulties, he goes back home and everything is forgotten. All the troubles, all the harassments, all of the difficulties, with all of the obstacles, they simply fade in the course of time. So that is. So here Prabhupada mentions one verse, Yaridam Paramam Guryam Bhaktesha Abhidasya Sati Nacha Tasma Manusheshu Kaschid Me Priyakrita Maha. One who preaches the message of, can't see the rest of the line. Yeah, one who preaches the message of Bhagavad Gita to my devotees is most dear to me. No one can excel him in satisfying me by worship. There are different kinds of welfare activities in the material world, but the supreme welfare activity is the spreading of Krishna consciousness. Other welfare activities may be effective, for the laws of nature and the results of karma cannot be checked, but it is by destiny or by the laws of karma one must suffer or enjoy. And Prabhupada goes on to explain what the nature of karma. So the point is that in devotional service, one may be faced with difficulties due to previous karma, but still, the devotee continues to go on. And knowing that Krishna is there and Krishna is protecting the devotee in many ways. Sometimes he protects completely. We have many examples of that. And sometimes he allows the devotee to go through some tribulations just to purify him. Or he may also, the body of the devotee may be destroyed in devotional service. But then Krishna will take that person back to Godhead. So ultimately he achieves the perfection of life simply by serving the Lord, by spreading Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada left us a legacy in our Krishna conscious movement. He wanted each and every devotee to preach Krishna consciousness, no matter what position you are, no matter what gender you are, no matter what age you are. He wanted everyone to take up the mantle of spreading Krishna consciousness. He said the world is in dire need of this knowledge, and we have it. And it's our duty to Krishna, it's our duty to the parampara system to do our best in whatever situation we're in, whatever facilities Krishna gives us, to take this knowledge and spread it to others. Devotees are doing that. We have so many programs for outreach, but we want more and more devotees to get on board and take up this because then your life becomes, then you really understand what Krishna consciousness is. Sometimes we can't figure out what Krishna consciousness is, but when you start taking up the service of spreading Krishna consciousness, then you open up a whole new level of consciousness. It becomes really wonderful and exciting, and sometimes very, 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 um, what's the word? You feel simply satisfied if you can make one person Krishna conscious, just one. There is a sense of satisfaction that cannot be compared to anything. And that is because of Krishna's being pleased. So this is the process of devotional service. And so we might say, well, I don't know so much philosophy. I don't know so much. I'm not so good. I don't really interact with people so good, especially people I don't know. But anyone can take up this mantle by connecting with one program. Even we don't even have to start anything. All we have to do is connect with the existing programs and become parts of it. Or if we have a little uh, creative intelligence, we can also think of different ways to use whatever Krishna has given us, our mind, our body, our intelligence, our words, our resources, our life, anything, and come up with ways to attract the conditioned souls. But the best way to attract the conditioned souls is to spread the glories of the chanting of the holy name and to spread the glories of Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all transcendental knowledge and is simply purifying for anyone who comes in contact with Srimad Bhagavatam. Srila Prabhupada had asked the devotees in ISKCON, he wanted everyone in the United States of America, in every household throughout the country, to have a set of Srimad Bhagavatams in their home. He said, this is our goal. He said we should go from door to door and place Srimad Bhagavatams in people's houses. And devotees are trying. There are many devotees now who are distributing Bhagavatam on the streets, selling whole sets of Bhagavatam right on the streets. If you have the desire, Krishna will give you the empowerment, but you need to have the desire. The desire has to be fixed that I want to somehow or other assist my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, the previous Acharya, in pleasing Krishna by bringing more souls to the lotus feet of the Lord. Now, devotees are never in any loss because in that position, they are, what we say, Krishna recognizes them directly. And Prabhupada says, if you get recognized by Krishna, you are most fortunate. There are so many living entities. There's no counting how many living entities there are in existence. There's no number to actually calculate that. But if you, just one of those unlimited living entities, does something to spread Krishna conscious, you get recognized by Krishna. So we want to get recognized by the Lord by pleasing the Lord in this way, finding ways to spread Krishna consciousness. There may be some hardships, there may be some difficulties. We have to put other things aside in our life. But if we can do that, we will find that Krishna consciousness becomes, and then when we read the books, then the knowledge of the page on the pages comes off the pages and goes right into your heart. You start to understand this knowledge deeper and easier when one is out there spreading Krishna consciousness. But you can do it in your home, you can do it everywhere. Lord Chaitanya told the former Brahmana, whoever you meet, tell them about Krishna. Wherever you meet, teach them to chant Hare Krishna. He said, you don't have to leave your family. You don't have to give up your activities. All you have to do is these two things. Just give Krishna consciousness in whatever way you can to others. So this is the process, and this is the reason why Srila Prabhupada came to this material world on behalf of Krishna to save the fallen conditioned souls. So we have been saved by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the previous acharyas and Krishna. Now it's up to us to take that mercy and find ways to connect with the process of outreach and preach Krishna consciousness to others. Okay, so as Prabhupada, as Krishna says, there is no one more dear. Prabhupada says most dear. And then we want to become dear to Krishna. To become dear to Krishna, it's like people want to become dear to each other in this world, or even dear to people who are very important. We gain something from them, just like if somebody is a rich person and you're very dear to them, you don't have to worry about money. It comes. Or someone is a influential person, you don't have to worry about doing things. Their influence will get you through everything. But Krishna is the source of everyone who has all good qualities on every level. So what is becoming dear to Krishna? It means to have the ultimate principle of happiness and protection. Everything is there in Krishna. Okay, we can open it up for some discussion.
Yes, Maharaj, thank you very much. So, dear devotees, we'll open up for question and answers. Very important topic. Just a humble request, if you can turn on your cameras on to make the session more interactive, personal, that would help. Also, you can ask your questions by raising your hand, or you can put your question in the chat window. I can read it on behalf of you if you are unable to do so. Thank you. Divya Mataji, you already raised your hand. Thank you very much. Please go ahead.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much for the class, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, my question is that a person who has already accepted that, spiritual sincerity in his or her life, and they wanted to progress and they are progressing, like as you said, that it's really important to glorify Bhagavad Gita and promoting that. So I've started that recently, and doing all the other activities as well, doing more rounds and with very sincere process. But and as you said that it's we wanted to become close to the Lord, and we wanted uh, that Lord should uh, recognize us. We need to be recognized by a Lord. So, for a spiritual person, what is that desire will be considered? Is it a spiritual desire or is it a material desire that we think?
Don't worry, the world Lord will recognize you when He's pleased.
Mm.
You don't have to
Yeah,
try, you don't have to try to be recognized by the Lord. The activities
yeah,
in
sure.
devotional service will give you that feature that Krishna will want to, as Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati says, try to see Krishna, but work in such a way that Krishna wants to see you. Prabhupada gives the example. Bhakti Siddhanta actually gave the example. A person is working in a corporation, and every day they're on time. Every day they have nice relationships with their co-workers. They do their work, and they're actually very uh, good at their work. So after some time, the proprietor of the establishment, he says, "Oh, who is this person? I think I will go and meet them."
Mm.
So then he wants to go and meet them and offer something and thank that person for their exemplary activity. So we don't have to try to see Krishna or try to act in such a way as to, all we have to do is we all we do is perform our devotional service in a way that is pleasing to Krishna, and then that'll happen automatically. Krishna
Yes,
is
thank
not
you so much.
Krishna is not an ungrateful autocrat. He's very grateful.
So, is it all right, Guru Maharaj, that if we make some mistakes on that path of, glorifying or promoting, preaching Bhagavad Gita?
We make some mistakes.
Because
A
yeah,
mistake.
we do make mistakes because we are not, we still need the spiritual guidance from, our bona fide spiritual masters and from our mentors, from our coaches. We are not purified on that path as well. We have just taken the baby steps. So, is it all right to make those mistakes?
Well, try not to make mistakes, but if you make mistakes, you just learn from your mistakes and you go on. It's not that we're not to the point where we're perfect. We make mistakes. It says, unless you're a pure devotee, you're still subjected to the four defects, and one of them is to make mistakes. So, does the mother become what we say? Does the mother become what we say? What's the word?
Angry?
Not angry, but
Angry?
does she become does she stop giving the care to her child because the kind of child gets makes mistakes? No, no. Yes. Did you did any one of you celebrate Panihati yesterday?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
There's a stuti phala. Stuti phala means that if you celebrate Panihati, all of the mistakes you've made in devotional service are all the reactions of those mistakes are eradicated. That's the benefit of celebrating that very important uh, holy day of Panihati, the pastime of Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya and Raghunath Das Goswami. So anybody who celebrated that, all of your mistakes in devotional service were automatically, the reactions of that were automatically wiped away. Even if you don't know it, you still get that benefit. But even if you make mistakes now, after that, these mistakes will not impede your progress in devotional service. But try not to make mistakes. Obviously, obviously.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you for your question. Uh, Rishabh Prabhu, you can go next, and then Shiva Kumar Prabhu. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. You hear me?
Good.
Yes. Hare Krishna, please. Dear Gurudev, dear Russians, please accept my humble obeisance so close to Srila Prabhupada. I have a question regarding the empowerment. It was mentioned that if we intensely desire to get empowered, Krishna will empower us. I just wanted to be sure, Maharaj, is that only thing we need to have is a desire, or there is other things as well we should cultivate next to the desire?
First deserve and then desire.
Hmm.
So, do you deserve the empowerment? And then you have to qualify by performing the activities, which will give you the qualifications to receive the empowerment.
Hmm.
The desire is there, but unless you act on that desire, you won't. That empowerment will not come.
Okay.
Yeah, you
I was.
have to show your desire in action, and then also pray for the mercy. If you do these two things, work and pray, then you can become qualified to receive the empowerment of the Lord in different ways, depending on your service.
I was speaking with a devotee regarding this empowerment just a few hours ago, and I was just thinking, like, why would Krishna empower us? This is the first question, and the second is, why would we actually? What is our motivation? Why we want to be empowered by Krishna? And then kind of it comes to the like sincerity of, if we decide to get empowered just because I think this is cool, or because I think it's, I want to be someone. I mean, I don't think that Krishna will empower us because we have the wrong motive. Even if we are doing the activities, even if we are desiring to get empowered, but the motive is wrong.
Yeah, it's not about you. It's about be offering the service in a way that others will benefit. Yeah. You're already being, everyone who's performing devotional service is getting some empowerment from Krishna. Otherwise, how can you do anything? But the more we move in that direction, in other words, the more we act on the desire of the spiritual master and the Lord and work at that, and then the empowerments increase. And then if you're fully empowered, then there's no obstacle in your devotional service.
Yeah.
So empowerment, Krishna works he works through your intelligence. He reminds you what you should be doing and how you should be doing it. That's an empowerment. You're thinking you're using intelligence, but Krishna says, I am the intelligence of the intelligent. I give you the intelligence. He's giving intelligence to some, and others he's not, because they're not up to the standard to receive the intelligence. They have other motivations. Make your motivation pure. I just want to serve my spiritual master. I just want to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. That's all. That's pure desire.
I really, it kind of also reminds me, Maharaj, a few classes ago where we were reading how we should also, even though we are empowered, we are constantly depending on the Lord. It's like when you say we are empowered, doesn't mean like, oh, look, I have a Shakti and now I'm, Shakti Avesha avatar and I can do whatever I want, but it's actually the mood of constantly depending on the Lord to continue doing our service. It kind of reminds me of that as well.
Well, if you start thinking I'm empowered, immediately you lose it.
Yeah.
You should think I need the mercy in order to carry out my service.
Wasn't depending. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yeah. Krishna is the source of everything, not our whatever abilities and intelligence we may have. We may be able to do something, but it won't satisfy you because it's not satisfying Krishna. So humility is the first principle. Humility means to depend on the mercy of the Lord in every and all circumstances.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shiva Kumar Prabhu, do you want to go ahead? Thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna Maharaj and all clowns. Please accept my humble obeisance at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So Maharaj, one question on sharing Bhakti Maharaj. If people are aware of our some of the material challenges in life that we are going through, would that affect their ability of how they receive Bhakti in a favorable way, Maharaj? And if so, is there any way, anything that we can do to not being affected by the challenges that we go through? That they think that these challenges are an outcome of our pursuit of bhakti itself. Is there something that we can do about it? Some words wanted to hear.
Let me see if I understand the question. Is it coming from the outside or coming from you?
I also have that sense, Maharaj, that they do see these challenges as part of the process itself. And in some cases, people have been vocal about it also. That if you are going through these challenges, what would be the motivation for us to take up this kind of a pursuit in life? So it's both, is what I see, Maharaj.
Well, if you're rightly situated in the execution of devotional service, then you're actually moving forward, and you may incur difficulties, obstacles, and even reverses. But these things are not blocks unless you accept them in that way. If you see them as opportunities to take greater shelter of Krishna, to purify yourself by giving up some material attachment. In other words, the obstacles are purifying. If you accept them in that way, if you accept them simply as blocks, then you may either slow down or give up your activities in devotional service. As Prabhupada said, when you take up devotional service, you're declaring war on Maya. And Maya is going to be using her arsenal of various types of allurements and tricks to divert you away from Krishna. So Prabhupada said, unless you're intelligent, you can't execute this process of devotional service. So you might say, well, I'm not so intelligent. Well, you take the intelligence given to you by the spiritual master, by Krishna, by the Shastras, and you apply that, and then you become intelligent. And then you can see things clearly. Oh, this is happening for this reason. Therefore, let me work in such a way as that I can overcome this obstacle. So yeah, obstacles are not for a sincere devotee. I'm not saying pure devotee. I'm saying sincere devotee. Obstacles are not impediments. They're opportunities. When people see obstacles as impediments, I can give you an example because we might, for instance, if you are under the instructions of your spiritual master in executing devotional service. Whatever obstacles you uh, encounter, you know that it's simply an obstacle and you have to work with it and you continue in the mood that was given to you in your devotion. In other words, you continue to follow in the same way. If you desire to do something independent of the spiritual master, and then you encounter obstacles, then that becomes a problem. And then you're not sure, well, maybe I shouldn't have did this. So when we act independently, obstacles may cause us confusion because we don't know if we're doing the right thing or not because we decided to act differently than the instructions of the spiritual master, the guidance given to us through Shastra, through Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah.
So, Maharaj, also Maharaj, the one other aspect I was trying to ask is, if the situation is affecting other people to see Krishna consciousness in a favorable way, is there something that we can do about it, or it's a limitation that we have to live with, Maharaj?
You're saying that we're acting in a certain way and people are not understanding our activities in devotional service. Is that it?
In the sense, Maharaj, when we try to share bhakti, if people think that uh, this pursuit involves confronting these kind of challenges in life, it might demotivate them to receive the bhakti in a favorable way that we are trying to share. So I'm just trying to understand if there is something.
Preaching means to know your audience a little bit. At least you have to have some inclination or some understanding of the nature of the people you're preaching to. So you know how to present the knowledge or how not to present the knowledge. So yeah, there's a little bit of intelligence that's required. It's called adhikari, the ability to understand things according to the situation that you're in. You don't preach to all kinds of audiences in the same way. You may adjust, you know. Like in certain places in the world, you have to really candy coat it more than other places because otherwise it becomes too hard for people to accept it. But you're not changing the essence, you're just presenting it in a way that is seemingly more understandable and accepted. Just like we preach in yoga studios. So these people are doing yoga. So we come in and we say we also do yoga, and they let us do a program in their yoga studio. We say, and then we explain this is bhakti yoga. It's one of the many yogas. And so this bhakti yoga consists of singing. So we're singing the glories of the Lord and his different features. And this is yoga. And then people join in and they get involved in kirtan. So we don't say, well, this is the kirtan to glorify Lord Sri Krishna. We say this is a way of yoga. So we use certain language according to the audience. Learning to use the proper language, which will attract the attention of the people you're trying to preach to, is important. So you do your best in that area, and you learn from your mistakes.
Thank you so much.
Does that help? Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
okay, thank you. Mm-hmm.
Maharaj, there's a question on the chat. It's we don't know the devotee because it just says one plus phone. It says Hare Krishna Maharaj, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Being a devotee in Krishna consciousness, even initiated, I have come across a person who is very harsh by the tongue. So, how can a person be sweet?
I mean, this person who's harsh, he's a devotee.
That's what it looks like, Maharaj, from the question. And he's also initiated.
Well, these are, it says harshness is the qualities of the demons. Sweetness, kindness, friendliness is the qualities of the devotees. So he's a neophyte devotee. Neophyte devotees, sometimes they don't understand the proper behavior. Sometimes they try to jam or force some philosophy in a very, what we say, unpleasant way to people, thinking that they're being very strict in their presentation. But the word is satya priyam, satya bruyam. Speak the truth pleasingly, even in personal behavior. If you're harsh with someone, nobody wants to be around. So it's not a devotional quality. Yeah, that's mentioned in the 16th chapter. Harshness is the quality of the demons. So sometimes we're still affected by, although we're practicing devotional service, still we're affected by the qualities of the lower modes of material nature, such as passion and ignorance. So that person needs to get some guidance, some correction. Otherwise, they will only simply push people away, even if they're speaking philosophy.
Thank you, Maharaj. Rishabh Prabhu, you have your hands raised, so you can go ahead, please. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, one actually question regarding the follow-up to the last discussion. Maharaj, how to preach indirectly and not give them mixed shraddha?
Well, you don't change the essence, you just present the essence in another way. If I give you a simple example, you can tell a person, don't do this. Or rather than saying, don't do this, you can tell them, do this. Now, when you say something like, do this, it's more pleasing and clear than saying, don't do. That's an example. I mean, a small example. I'll give you a personal example. I'll give you a perfect story. Srila Prabhupada. One lady, this was in Europe, she was coming to the temple. This was when Prabhupada was still on the planet. And she was wearing mini skirts. And she was also putting her hair up with a lot of makeup all over. So she comes to the temple and she wants to see the deities. So the devotees notice her and they say, well, thank you for coming, but you can't look like that. You have to dress differently. You have to be more, chaste. And she wasn't so much pleased to hear that. So she came back again, and the same thing. The devotees got a little heavier with her. So at one point she stopped coming. And then right after that, she heard that Prabhupada was coming to the temple, same temple where she was nearby. So she said, let me meet their spiritual teacher. So Prabhupada came and sat down on a Vyasasana. He was about to begin. She walks in, same way, mini skirt, all kinds of, makeup, hair, whatever. And as she's walking in to look for a seat, Prabhupada said, oh, thank you very much for coming. You look very nice today. Yeah. Prabhupada was seeing her as a soul, not as a body. He was seeing her, he wasn't seeing the external, he was seeing That person is a soul, part and parcel of Krishna, and they're coming to get some knowledge of spiritual life. That's an example.
So Maharaj, when we are telling them, let's say Kirtan is, we kind of try to sugarcoat Kirtan and we say Kirtan is something this and that. Should we at some point then, I guess when they are matured and they take up the process, then we actually start to say, okay, Kirtan is actually for the pleasure of the Lord and everything. Because, is this like the proper way to do it then?
That's one way, but I'm not saying
Okay.
that's an absolute way.
Sure.
We don't sugarcoat kirtan. We say we like to sing and dance in service to the Lord, so please join us. It's fun.
Yeah, I guess there is no reason to deviate or to change the Shraddha. It's just like be tactful how to say it. Yeah.
We don't have to make so many explanations. Just present it. That's it. It'll work.
Okay.
It'll work by itself.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharaj.
When they ask questions, then you can answer accordingly, depending on the questionnaire and the question. Preaching means to change the heart.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, any other questions, comments, realization you would like to share? Well, this is another thing, just not a question, but it's a question and realization. Personally, in my life, I've done preaching, mostly in the book distribution and Bhagavatam distribution, as you said, it's one of the key essence. And then I myself have gotten into a comfort zone to that part, and I need to push myself to actually do more for preaching outside in different avenues and streams. So my mind always says, you're doing this book distribution. This is good. Just keep doing that. But then I also think that going out and doing actual preaching as well, that's also important. And as you said, when you do that, that is where real Krishna consciousness hits, and that is where you make progress. At least that's what I think.
Prabhupada said the best form of preaching is book distribution.
Oh,
So if you're distributing books, you're preaching.
okay. So I don't need to feel low for myself then. Okay.
But if people ask you what's in the books, you should be ready to.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you. Any other questions, inquiries? Maharaj, is so nice that Krishna is saying that he's actually making it quite clear if you want to be dear to me, what you should do. And it's so explicit and clear, that anybody who preaches my messages, my glories, there's no devotee more dear to me, nor he will ever be.
Yeah, everyone's dear to Krishna,
Yes.
even the non-devotees. But the devotees are more dear, but those who preach are most dear. Krishna loves everyone equally. Samoham savabhuteshu name dvesha priya. I'm equal to everyone. I envy no one. I'm partial to no one. But anyone who renders devotional service to me, I am a friend in him, and he is a friend in me.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hey, I'm surprised. No questions. Such an important topic.
Arti Mataji has just raised a hand. Thank you, Mataji. Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you. and all glories to all the devotees. Guru Maharaj, my question was, uh, uh, like, like 2 year ago, when I came to Krishna consciousness, not 2 year ago, like I came like 5 years ago, but 3 years ago, because I love talking too much, so whenever I talk to my relatives, I just wanted to, by default, I was not preaching them, but by default, I just talked about Krishna to them, and I was trying to make them realize that this world is not so good, so we have to go out, we don't have to stay here in this world. And this process, like, and while working on this for 5 6 months, now my auntie, she is Krishna conscious, and I didn't realize that I just talking to them make them Krishna consciousness. So my auntie is Krishna consciousness, my papa is Krishna consciousness, my sister is Krishna consciousness, and now my sister is teaching her husband, my auntie is teaching her family. So this way it's spreading. But now, like in current situation, it was like 2 3 years back when I was like too much talking to them. But in current situation, I stopped, talking about Krishna to them, because I feel tired sometimes. And it's India and US, there's a lot of time difference. And with Kanhaiya, I feel tired talking to them. So should I keep, because they want me to, talk about, they want to hear from me always. They
Sure.
always tell me that you don't
So,
talk now, you don't call now too much. So I feel guilty, and I wanted to take some time to start this again. So what should I do?
yeah, just do it. Krishna will guide you.
Okay, Guru Maharaj. And also, I have one question, that the little girl from my neighborhood, 10-year-old American girl, she comes to my house, and I just feed her prasadam every day. And because she just wants something to eat. So rather than giving her junk, I just give her prasadam, because I don't want to buy junk for her. And she loved eating prasadam, and she loved watching baby Krishna, her baby Krishna's dress and everything. And she every day she asked me that, can I see baby Krishna, what he's wearing today, can I offer the lamp to baby Krishna? But she don't take bath. The only thing is she eat beef and meat. So I wanted to teach her that we should not consume this whole thing. But the thing is, my husband says that if you will just tell her this all thing, she will tell her family, and they will think like I'm just trying to change her religion. So I don't understand how to start with that little girl.
Well, what you're doing sounds good. Giving her prashadam, she's seeing baby Krishna. Hey, keep
And she
going.
also learned the Maha Mantra. Now she chant always. When she comes here, she wanted me to play the Maha Mantra, and she will just chant with me.
So there's no question, there's no problem. Just keep going. Don't worry about, her personal habits outside. These things will fall away after some time. You don't have to, just talk about them. Prabhupada never introduced all of these things at once. We introduce everything slowly, as much as the devotees could accept.
Okay, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, just keep going the way you're going. It sounds good.
and and with the relatives, like you said, should I start the Bhagavad Gita again with them? Because we used to read Bhagavad Gita every day. But the thing is, like, after half an hour, they will start asking me so many questions and with so many discussions.
Good. Well, you want, that's what you want. You want questions. What do you think I'm sitting here for? I'm waiting for your questions. What if we don't want questions about how we can help people in their struggle in Krishna consciousness? What are we doing? We want questions.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for encouraging me. And just, I was very confused. What should I do? Now I understand. How should I? I should keep going the way I was doing before. Thank you so much.
Okay, keep going. It seems like what you're doing is good.
But I felt like my energy is not that level what it was before.
All right, just then get some more energy. Nice try.
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Energy comes from Krishna. He's the source of everything.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I will try to just figure out the time, and everything will be like, I'll fix some limited time, not like 2 hours, 3 hours continuously discussing on the same topic. So
It's
just
nice that you're doing everything and you're very intelligent. At the same time, I see you worry too much. Don't worry. Just do what you're doing and depend on Krishna. Use your intelligence how to do things. And you're getting results, obviously. People are becoming Krishna conscious. And even little girls who are just don't know anything about Krishna are coming to your house to get some food and seeing baby Krishna. I mean, this is preaching. This is good. We want that. We are not going to ask everyone to preach in the exact same way. Everything it's always according to your particular situation. So, but don't worry.
yes, Guru Maharaj.
Worry means I think I'm in control, and if I'm not in control, then I worry because I want to be in control.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, I feed prasadam to everyone.
Good.
Like whosoever come to my house, my neighbors,
when I come to Farmington Hills, make sure you give me some.
Oh, Haribol, Guru Maharaj, you will accept?
Of course.
Yes, definitely, Guru Maharaj. I will make you something nice for you, the nice prasadam.
Okay, don't forget.
No, never, Guru Maharaj. I just want to serve all the Vaishnavas and my neighbors. They are not Krishna conscious, and with the therapists, they all are Americans. And I just give them prasadam. I don't tell them that this is prasadam, and they will like ask me the recipe of the food. Like, what is this? They have never had before.
Prabhupada said prasadam is our secret weapon.
Yes, Guru Maharaj, and I feel so happy feeding them prasadam.
Yeah, I feel happy hearing you being happy and giving prasadam.
Yeah, I always find some reason to feed them. Like they will say no, but I'll find some reason. I will tell something that this is something this, and they will just little just try it, and they will try the prasadam, and they will be like, "Oh, please give me the recipe."
In this age of ignorance, where people can't understand philosophy, even if you explain it in 55 different angles of vision, people can't understand philosophy. It's hard. But Prabhupada said, therefore, our duty is mostly to spread the holy name and give prasadam to everyone and anyone. And then when they get a little purified, then they can start to understand philosophy. Otherwise, they can't. So these two things purify everyone, and then they can understand what is their position, who's Krishna, how to please the Lord. Everything will come in due course of time. You don't have to start from that point. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj.
Haribol.
All your mercy.
Thank you, Mataji, for sharing your experiences.
Rasavilasini, Radha.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Gurudev, Sammal devotees. So Maharaj, in the purport, it is as Nityananda Prabhu was carrying the order of the spiritual master. So as a grihastha, sometimes it's difficult to carry out the spiritual master's order. But on the other hand, I feel that no, I must do it. I try a lot, and the more I try, the more the situation becomes difficult. Then how should I understand this? Is it a test, Maharaj, Krishna says or something?
Why is it becoming difficult? What do you mean by becoming difficult?
Just to carry out the spiritual master's order.
Like, for instance, give me an example.
When I heard, when I hear lectures and everything, so sometimes the times doesn't match, or sometimes the situation create I'm not able to do it, or
Oh, I think I understand what you're saying. You've got so many other things to do.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you better take time for Krishna. If you don't give time for Krishna, then what is the use of saying I'm a devotee? Do what you can. Spiritual Masters doesn't say you have to do this much, but you should try to do whatever you can. That's all. Do what you can. But the thing is, we can always do more. That's the thing. We limit ourselves by our own uh, measurement of ourselves. And Krishna doesn't see that. He sees that we can do much more. But how does he? How do we do much more? One, we can organize our day in such a way that we have time for everything we need to do. In other words, get organized. That's one way. Another way is to think how, well, I'm doing this service now. How can I make the service even better? How can I expand it so it becomes more pleasing to Krishna? Quality. Put more quality in what we do instead of thinking I got to do many more things. Quality also is increased in bhakti. In fact, bhakti is based on quality, not quantity. There are people who do a lot of service, but that doesn't mean that's more pleasing than a person who does little service, but does service, that little service in a more pleasing way. Quality. But don't let that stop you from doing more. You have to learn how to balance quality and quantity together.
Yes, Maharaj. Generally, Maharaj, I woke up early in the morning, like before 4 a.m. and I just read like 4 to 5, Bhagavatam, 1 hour. And because Maharaj, if I don't read like in the morning, so I don't get the time to read it later. So just prefer to read it and then chant some mantras and after the
Okay.
breakfast.
I know one devotee gets up and he writes when he gets up. He writes for hours. I know another devotee, when he gets up, he cleans the whole place before he starts chanting. Just make sure you have time for chanting. That's the point.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Actually, you'll chant better if you read when you first get up. I recommend that. Read something. Read like a verse or two or something, and then offer some prayers, and then begin your japa. How many of you went on the retreat? Raise your hand. I can't see everybody, but anyway. How many of you went on the retreat in France? Not too many were there. Uh, but anyway, we received this book, right? You remember this book? This was a gift. It was arranged by what's her name? Eka Chakradam, formerly Ekta. So this is a nice. What it is? It's the Astakala Leela of Krishna and Radharani and Lord Chaitanya. So you can read this in the morning. Read Lord Chaitanya's Astakala Leela. It takes about 10 minutes or more. And then in the evening, you can read Radha Krishna's Astakaliya Leela. Nice. Prepares the mind for chanting. Also pleases the Lord also. It's also got the prayers to Srila Prabhupada, the Guru Vastikam prayers there. It's all there. This nice little book. Really nicely done by Shiva Ram Maharaj. Beautiful. I read it every day before I start.
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Okay.
Thank you, Mataji.
Vedanath, where are we?
In terms of time, Maharaj?
No, because in terms of where should we go? Should we continue or should we open it up for chanting now?
We can open up for chanting, Maharaj, but I will have to give the host right to someone in the next 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, that's right. You have to leave.
So I'm just looking
Sri
for.
Devi is not online.
I can make.
I don't see anyone who could do it.
No.
Okay. Anyway,
Okay.
maybe devotees we can just stop here and devotees can do their individual chanting.
Maharaj, I can just stop the recording. I can make you the host and the chanting can continue still and then.
But I'll drop off also. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So
let's just end here and then devotees can take up the chanting on their own wherever they are.
okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Okay, thank you very much.
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय
Yes.
प्रभुपाद की जय
Right.